if you could just give a quick overview of what we're going to learn here.
Me or Michelle?
Oh, I can do it. So many crunches. Okay. So we're going to learn how to gather a list of attributes gather attributes for a list of individuals. It's really a list of anything though.
Maybe what I can do is I can just share my screen and just show what it looks like in the interview first.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Where is my interview now? Okay, so it actually starts with are there any? Can you see my screen? I don't know. Am I showing? I don't know.
No, not yet.
Okay, here we go. So you've got, are there more children? Yes. And then you put in the details of the child. Are there more children? And you carry on going until you press no. And that's just a very simple explanation of what Michelle explained now.
Perfect.
So I'm trying to find a code example of it in do you remember in the 209A which form it was that asks about the children and their names and stuff?
It could definitely be affidavit of care and custody.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
It could also be
page 2.
It could be page 2. I can also have a look if you want.
That's okay. I mean, you can look, and if you find it, then let us know. I think this might be the one we've demoed before, just in our little group. So if it seems familiar and you still have questions, let me know. So you actually have it right here. You have the code right here. You have a question that says, are you currently employed? Mm-hmm. And that sets, jobs there are any. So that answer is now DocAssemble is going to be looking for a list of things. Then you have a question but asks about I. DocAssemble tells itself what I is. If you have a list of things and you ask about a thing of that type from that list, if you write code to gather that list of items, then it can ask these questions and it will know what I is. If you have another job, we'll tell DocAssemble when to stop asking these questions. So jobs, there is another. If they say no, then DocAssemble stops asking this cycle of questions.
Okay.
So to run this, and I wish I could type, where is your interview order close to here?
Yep, it's right up here.
Oh, that's awesome. So
I believe I tried to toss it in right here, but I don't know if that's the right.
Yeah, that's great. There is, let me think. There is one more wrinkle to it, though I think it won't matter here because you gather all the information about the jobs at one point, right? They're an entity, so how would they gather? So DocAssemble has a way of thinking about a list of things. It knows, for example, that with individuals, it thinks, by default, if you gather a list of individuals, it will want the people's first names. So it will look for a question with the people's first names. And when it's done that for all of them, it'll think it's done. If I'm not sure what it would do for a list of jobs, I'm not sure what the job list is under the hood. If it's a person or entity or like thing, it could just be a thing. Mm-hmm. And so what you might want to do is give it, where you create it, you want to give it do you create it or does Basic Questions create it? In the objects block. Do you have
in the objects block that we have, it's just, we created it. So right now it's person because
object type person. So it should want the person name.text. I believe that's what the person is looking for.
Okay, gotcha.
So what happens when you just run that code by itself? I mean, comment out the other code, but that's okay. We can go through the whole.
I think it doesn't even get to that other piece first. I think I said it right beforehand, so.
Okay.
So I've been getting this is the page right before it. I've been getting an error. Oh, but it's working, oddly.
It's because I'm here.
Oh, here it is.
There we go.
Yeah.
Jobs 0 name dot text. So where do you get the employer name?
The employer name.
Okay, there we go. There we go. So you don't have a jobs dot name dot text. So you need to use what docassemble is going to recognize, so what it's got built in. And so instead of employer, you might do .name .text, right? Yeah. So let's see how that goes.
Okay. That's great. Should I inspect or do the source of the page just to see if it's creating the list? Or?
You can, sure. Yep. I don't know if it will have added the item yet because you haven't given it any information about the item, but we can see. That's not the source of the page. That is the console, the like element inspector in Chrome, I think you're using.
Yeah. How do you do it again then? It's
So it's up there in the header.
Up here?
In the header, like the black header.
Oh, up here. Gotcha.
Sorry, I'm doing a very bad job.
I see. No, I gotcha. Okay.
And if you want to see the variables, then you click on show variables and values because you're not going to see the current variables here. So you can look for, you know, jobs, or you can look for occupation, I think was one of the properties you had. I'm not sure if it'll be in here yet because you haven't created one yet.
Yeah. Okay. I'm going to give it a shot then. I'll toss in a couple.
Sure.
Occupation, we'll just do, this can be ones. And knows address, which is nice. Do you have any other jobs? Yes. I'll make these twos. Okay. So yes, and
you can probably look at source after you add the first one. Yeah.
Yep, it got them.
There you go.
1 and 2.
So the next part that people find confusing, understandably, is how to list those items in your PDF.
Yeah.
People often try and use I in your PDF. Yeah. I is for getting the values, not for showing the values. For showing the values, you need to refer to the index number of the job you want to show, or you can just list them as jobs, like user0.jobs.
Okay.
Docassemble knows in a lot of cases how to display lists. It usually has a string that usually the name. So you might not want to just list jobs because you're going to probably want it to do occupation and employer address as well. And it's likely that it will just list the name of the jobs. So you'll want to do some of your own formatting.
Gotcha. So in the attachment, in the attachment block at the bottom, I would do user0.jobs, and then would I do .occupation afterwards and .name.text?
So you would do user0.jobs 0, right? Because you want the first job.
Right.
.occupation, you know, plus comma plus user jobs 0 .name.text comma, you know. Do you know how to concatenate strings?
No, I don't think we know how to do that yet.
Okay, that's
that code.
So I can show you how to do that.
I think that code is in the. If you look at the channel,
it's somewhere in there, but I don't know where.
No. In the messages that I just sent. In that code.
Okay.
Sam, if you just look in that chat with Mark, Michelle.
Yeah, I have it open. It's under.
It's the last code block.
Last code block. Oh, okay. I see.
I think that's it. I think that's what Michelle's looking at.
So I'll just toss this in here just so we can see it.
Yeah. So you can do that right in the attachment, and that's a lot of times the way Quentin prefers to do it.
Okay.
But for action and related actions. So yeah, that can definitely be a way to do it. That won't put new lines between them, but that might not be important to you. I don't know. So but you can also add a new line onto the end, like the same way she's adding commas.
Yeah. Okay.
How do you do
would I just do r/? Would that be it?
It would either be /r or /n.
/r. Okay, sounds good. So is this a good template that I can just bring into the attachment file?
Let me see, action.case.name, except it would be instead of for actions in related actions, right? It would be, what do you think it would be? Oh, right, so that's, it's a singular one. I mean, if you're naming variables, which you are.
It doesn't have to match this. It is just like it knows it as job or not.
This is a whole different variable you're making. You can make it chair if you want. That sometimes helps if you name it something completely unrelated. For, and then you need to use that same variable name. You're basically saying for a variable I'm going to call chair.
Okay.
That is in, you know, related actions, but we're not going to do related actions, of course. Give me chair.case name plus comma plus chair.docket number plus comma plus, you know, so on and so forth. Okay. So, and of course you'll have to change those properties. So what is the list of things that you want to get? Sure, you can, let's do the properties. That's where your head is at. So
yeah.
Let's get the properties.
So the list of things right now, we're trying to gather occupation, employer, name, address of your own job.
Well, of however many jobs you have, right?
Yeah.
So you're cycling through jobs. That's the thing you're looping through, right? But what is the name of the variable? Like you need all of that, right? Because you haven't made a variable that's just called jobs, right?
Oh, okay.
You might as well, you might as well say tables there, right? Like the docassemble doesn't know what just jobs are. And you can make that a thing, or you can just, so what is the variable name you think exists that a variable, what is the variable, how would you get the variable that you want to loop through? How is it referenced elsewhere?
Elsewhere, I would guess it would be under objects, right? As users.jobs, user0.jobs.
You can try that.
Okay, so where would I be placing this? Would I just put it right down the attachment file or fill it in?
Where do you think it would go? And try it there, right?
Yeah, I'm thinking.
Try it wherever you're thinking.
Thinking related actions doesn't need to be what I use. So
that is setting a variable, that is not using a variable.
Okay, so this will be whatever I want it to be, and this is how I'll kind of get it in the attachment block?
Yes, that's what we did, is because related actions was a number, in our case, it was 3 different inputs. We created that variable in order to capture it all and include all of those things in the PDF.
Okay. So we can change this to probably just some variable that'll help us, like, it's super simple. So like employer, probably, right? Or
job description, or employer description, something like that.
Yeah, I'm thinking.
For jobs.
I'm thinking
right?
Employer description. Yeah, I guess, yeah.
I mean, you're calling it jobs elsewhere, so I would, jobs descriptions.
Maybe this work description.
Well, no. What I'm saying is you're calling it jobs elsewhere, so I would stay consistent if you can.
Oh, I see what you're saying. I thought you meant not to be confused.
No,
okay, so jobs description, comma and list. I keep that the same, right? That is kind of what I'm looking for. Jobs dot case name. Would I then change that to occupation?
Whatever way you want it to display.
You can.
Oh, in the PDF. Okay, so
whatever, it'll go first, second, third.
So occupation, definitely. Instead of docket number, then yeah, employer name. And the final one would be employer address. And would this do it?
I don't know. You could test it out and see what. I mean, like how
like how Quentin does it. He's like, so what do you think is going to happen before we press anything? What do you think?
I would like, I actually, that was my next question. What do you think will happen when you do this?
Well, I think this should be able to print exactly what I want: the occupation, the employer name, the employer address. I don't think, like that. I don't think I'll be able to get more than one though, because this is, I don't know if it like will actually do 0, 1, and 2 if I add more than one, you know, like a new line. Oh wait, I need to do this. Plus.
Wrong slash.
Wrong
I'll
slash.
tell you that now.
Okay, thank you very much. Appreciate saving me the time.
Yeah.
Okay.
There's a couple other steps you need to take, but I'm sure you'll discover them along the way.
Okay. Well, I do have to fill out the whole form to get to the end.
Oh, damn. Okay, so think about this. How are you going to get this to appear in your attachment?
It's got to be in here somewhere.
The attachment code.
Sorry, it's got to be in the attachment block somewhere.
With that.
So would I take each of those new variables and put them in here somewhere?
No. So what we did is we put the create variable to replace the one that was in the PDF. I don't know how to explain this. So do you have what is the input name? What is the field?
So hang.
PDF?
If I can ask something.
Mm-hmm.
What is jobs description at the end? What do you hope for it to be?
I hope for jobs description at the end to be, if you see these variables down here, to be printed into users' occupations, and then users' work name, and then users' work address one line, 1, 2, and 3.
Okay, so that is not jobs, by the way, but that's okay. So in that case, if you think it's going to print lines 1, 2, and 3, where do you want that to appear? So what on this page right now represents that value that you hope will represent that value, right? We just went over that. So
this right here. Yeah.
Yep. And what has that value? What contains that value at the end of this process? At the end of this code running?
Contains it. Would it be this list?
No, that is your list of jobs. So what contains the text that you just described? You have done that code. Where do those 3, 4 lines exist? Okay,
right,
so you want to display that value.
Yes.
So how do you display a value in a PDF?
You have to make sure that the PDF has the variable name in whatever text field that you want. Then you have to attach it into the code.
All right, so let's see. Do that.
So I don't think the PDF has this information on it though, or that.
Well, how do you get that variable into the PDF?
That's normally, so we have it in 3 blocks: occupation, work name, and work address one line.
Well, you now have it in 1 block.
Oh, do I have to do some code to connect them all?
Can I quickly ask a question? Do you have 1 field or do you have 3 fields on that question?
Currently, we have 3.
Oh, shit.
Let's pick one of them. Let's pick one of them.
Okay.
And use that one. Put all the information in that block, in that field.
Let's do work name. That's the centermost one, and I think that can be simple enough.
So let's get the variable you want, right? Job descriptions, jobs description, and let's put it in 1 field.
Okay.
Okay. So where do you put the information that goes in a field? You were telling me just a little while ago.
Would it would it be the attachment block down at the bottom?
You can try that.
Okay. Go down. It's right here.
Okay. So let's do it.
Would I change?
You never change that side.
Right. This is the side I want to change.
You only make it what the PDF is. What was the variable name when you created it?
Jobs _description.
Right. So you use the exact variable name that you created.
So not even users.
Unless you created user 0.job description, no.
Okay.
All right.
Then there's the other one.
Do you have set undefined to whatever, to empty or whatever it's called?
I don't know where that would be.
Okay, never mind. The thing that like will let you have no values for stuff in your PDF.
It's at it should be in the code, the code block that sets your order.
It should actually be in the attachment block.
Really quickly, I'm going to comment out this stuff. That will confuse it.
This might cause it to error though. Because if you're asking for that in the PDF and you do not have, there's also, this is 2 questions you just commented out. You just commented out 2 questions. So scroll down, you have another question you commented out. Did you mean to do that? Keep going. There. Currency needed or just source of income.
I mean to do that. Good catch. Thank you.
You're welcome. Don't always catch them, but so if your PDF does not have the feature where it doesn't mind if values are missing, then you will get an error if it's not getting those values and your PDF wants those values.
Okay.
So let's look at your attachment. Skip undefined true, right? In that case, you can comment out all the other code and not go through it, and you will successfully, you won't error. So if you want, you can skip the rest of your form.
Oh, I can?
You should be able to. I could be wrong, but you have to comment it out in the code.
Oh, okay.
In your order block interview.
Yeah, I think that was a trick that Quentin actually showed me on one of the quick things. Maybe you did. I'm not quite sure.
Okay, we can go through the whole thing. That's fine.
I'll see. Yes. 1, 2, 2. Okay. No.
Users is employed, yes. It could not be looked up in the question file. So what is asking for users 0 is employed, yes. Is your order block asking for it?
It might, yep.
In that case, you commented out the question that would. So if you want, you can like comment out the rest of those lines. Hold Alt, click in a spot, right? And drag down. There you go. You got to indent them.
And this thing can do that. All right. So now if I do it.
Supposedly, from what I've been told, we will find out if it's true.
This will be exciting.
If not, it's easy enough to, and we'll discover it fairly quickly.
Oh, it did work.
Ooh.
Oh, come on. Sure.
And now it'll ask a bunch of annoying questions because it thinks it needs to know stuff.
Please work. All right. Nothing.
Nothing. It's true.
But the loop did work. That's what really matters for me.
That's not what really matters. Are you kidding? I mean, okay, it does matter a little bit.
That's a huge.
And we can stop the recording here. That's for sure. But is that the correct field name? Is my question. And go back to your mass access tab and look at sources. Variable values, look for occupation. It's not occupation. So 1, you've got occupation, and 2. Okay, so let's look at your attachment. Let's go back to the mass access tab. Let's scroll down and look at the attachment, what the preview attachment looks like. And let's look at that field. Show me that field in your attachment block. The field that should be holding the job stuff.
Oh, you want to?
No, right here. It's in it. I want to see what DocAssemble thinks your attachment block is. So where is that field? Your work name?
Yeah.
Household.
Oh, okay. Nope, we're close. Here it is.
Job description. User work name. Job description. I would love to see the PDF and see if that's actually a field in the PDF.
Yeah, that's why. Yeah.
Could you go to documate.org/PDF?
Documate.org/PDF. Is that spelled correctly?
Yeah. Oh no, documate with an M, sorry. Okay, now put the PDF in here.
Okay.
You have the PDF on your computer?
I do, yeah, I'm gonna drop it.
Okay, let's drop it in there. Or maybe you have a PDF editor. I didn't even think to ask.
I don't, yeah, that's why we've been using
great.
Aubrey so much.
All right.
This is a great trick. I didn't know this existed.
Yeah, you can't use it to edit the fields because
you see them?
Because it kills digital signatures and stuff.
Okay.
So you can't like use it for everything you want, but oh, are we gonna have an error?
Yeah, it's been erroring out a little bit.
Do you guys use this regularly? Is this like a really big tool for you guys?
I think Dorna's been working on it at the moment.
Maeve, could you load up the PDF
on
your computer and share your screen?
No, my PDF, my Adobe is still broken.
Okay, let me see if I have. Adobe PDF online. Do I have the? I would have to like download it, I think.
Guys, I'm gonna jump off.
All right, we'll see you later.
Thank you very much, Maeve. That was very helpful.
I think you can thank Michelle.
Just getting us started.
I'll talk to you guys on Monday. Okay.
All right.
Bye. Bye. If I end, I'm the host. Like, I'm
you're the
going to
host.
leave the meeting. I'm going to assign you, Sam.